Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, guys, this is one of those stories that just keeps evolving. And if you're a Packers supporter, you know how critical offensive line health and stability are, especially when it comes to protecting the franchise quarterback and establishing that balanced attack that Green Bay has been known for over the years. And right now, the team finds itself in a pretty tricky situation, one that could have serious implications for their upcoming game and honestly, for their entire season. We're talking about the injury issues on the offensive line, specifically at the right tackle position, which has become a real concern after the latest developments in Week 3. So, let's set the scene. The Packers had high hopes going into their Week 3 game against the Cleveland Browns. Coming off a decent start to the season, expectations were that this team could build on their momentum and perhaps surprise some folks in the NFC. But then, disaster struck. Zach Tom, who's been emerging as a reliable piece on the offensive line, got hurt. It wasn't just a minor injury, it was an oblique injury, which can be tricky for offensive linemen because it affects their core stability and movement. And what happened next? Well, head coach Matt LaFleur admitted that rushing Tom back onto the field in that game was a mistake. If you watched that game, you saw how it unfolded. Tom tried to play through the injury, and he managed just one snap before he had to leave the game. That left the Packers scrambling, and we all know that when your starting right tackle goes down unexpectedly, chaos ensues. The Packers' first move was to call Jordan Morgan off the bench, and here's where things get really interesting. Morgan had 0 snaps at right tackle during the summer, 0. The team was basically throwing him into the fire in a crucial game. And well, the results, they weren't pretty. Morgan looked lost, unsure of himself, and honestly overwhelmed. You could see it on the field. And if that wasn't enough, things got worse when Morgan had to shift back to left guard later in the game. According to PFF, he allowed 3 pressures and a sack, earning a grade of just 22.5 in pass blocking. That's pretty embarrassing for a second-year player trying to make his mark, especially in such a high-stakes environment. The question now is, what's next? Because the Packers, as we know, have some serious decisions to make. Aaron Banks, their starting left guard, has also been uncertain to play. If he can't go, that leaves the Packers in a real bind. Can they trust Morgan to be the answer at right tackle after that disastrous Week 3 performance? Honestly, probably not. He's not the guy right now. So the coaching staff will have to look elsewhere, probably to rookie second-round pick Anthony Belton or veteran Darian Kinnard. Both options have their pros and cons, but neither guarantees stability immediately. And let's face it, Morgan can't be the top choice at right tackle. That's just not sustainable. Green Bay needs a reliable option to protect their quarterback, Jordan Love, who, by the way, has been showing flashes of growth this season but can't do it alone. The offensive line is the foundation of any successful offense, and right now, it's shaky at best. What makes things a bit more manageable for the Packers is the upcoming matchup against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Dallas has a pretty good pass rush, right? Well, yes, but it's not quite the same as Cleveland's. According to ESPN, the Browns are ranked first in pass rush win rate through 3 weeks, while the Cowboys are down at 26th. That's a significant difference. It means the Packers might have a better shot at holding up in pass protection, even with the injuries. Rashan Gary, who's been a force on the defensive front, has more sacks, 4-5, than the Cowboys, 4 this season, and that's something Green Bay can leverage. Now, here's a silver lining. This game is followed by the Packers' bye week. They get a full 2 weeks, or 21 days, for Zach Tom to recover from that oblique injury. Coach LaFleur mentioned that Tom didn't re-aggravate the injury last week, which is promising, and that the injury happened in Week 3, so theoretically, he might be ready to go by Week 6. That's a crucial piece of the puzzle because having Tom back would be a huge boost to this offensive line. But for now, they have to find a way to win without him, and with the current injuries. And you have to remember, this isn't just about Week 4. the Packers are building something here. Jordan Love is in his second season as the starter, and he's showing signs of growth, but he's also under pressure, literally and figuratively. The offensive line's health will be a defining factor in how far they can go this year. If they can get Tom back healthy and find some solid depth at tackle, then this team's Super Bowl ambitions remain very much alive. But if they can't stabilize that position, it could be a rough road ahead. The coaching staff, led by LaFleur, has faced adversity before, and they're no strangers to making adjustments mid-season. But the question is, how quickly can they find the right solutions for this offensive line? Will Morgan step up and improve, or will we see a more experienced veteran like Darian Kinnard get the nod? And what about Anthony Belton? He's a rookie, but sometimes young players can surprise us, especially if given the chance. The key is, can they withstand the pressure from a Dallas defense that, although not as fierce as Cleveland's, still presents a formidable challenge? Moving to the bigger picture, it's worth highlighting how these injuries could influence the NFC North standings. The Packers have been one of the more consistent teams in recent years, and they're always in the playoff conversation. But division rivals are waiting in the wings, eager to capitalize on any weakness. The Detroit Lions, for example, have been playing very well, and the Minnesota Vikings are always dangerous. The Chicago Bears are in a bit of a rebuilding phase, but shouldn't be underestimated. So, losing key players along the line at this stage can tilt the balance and make a difference in the division race. And it's not just about this season. Green Bay's future depends on how well they navigate these injuries. Jordan Love is still in the early stages of his development, and the offensive line is his best protection. The coaching staff needs to get creative, maybe some extra help on blitz pickups, more quick throws, or max protecting to keep Love safe. The coaching staff's ability to adapt will be crucial in these upcoming weeks. And let's not forget, the Packers have one of the most passionate fan bases in the NFL. The energy at Lambeau Field, even in tough times, has always been electric. The community, the history, the tradition, this team means so much to its fans. They've seen tough seasons before and come out stronger. This current injury crisis might just be another test of resilience. Fans will be hoping that Zach Tom recovers quickly, that Morgan finds his confidence, and that the team can rally behind their quarterback to get some wins in the next few weeks. Looking ahead, the team's depth and draft choices will be under scrutiny. Green Bay has always been good at developing talent and finding diamonds in the rough. The coaching staff will need to be innovative, perhaps leaning more on their running game or quick passes, to compensate for the protection issues. The offensive scheme might need to be adjusted temporarily until reinforcements arrive. But make no mistake, this challenge, while daunting, also presents an opportunity for some of the young players to step into the spotlight and prove their worth. In the grand scheme of things, this situation highlights how fragile success can be in the NFL. One injury, one bad game, and the landscape shifts. But it also showcases the resilience and adaptability of a team like the Packers. They have a veteran coaching staff, a talented quarterback, and a passionate fan base that believes in their potential to overcome adversity. The next few weeks will be critical, and all eyes will be on how they handle this offensive line crisis. And remember, this isn't just about Week 4, it's about setting the tone for the rest of the season. If they can find a way to stabilize that right tackle position, get Tom back healthy, and keep their defense playing at a high level, the Packers could very well be contenders again. But if injuries and inconsistent play continue, they'll need to dig deep and find that inner strength that has defined this franchise for so many decades. So, as fans, let's stay hopeful, supportive, and ready for whatever comes next. Because the Green Bay Packers have always been about resilience, community, and that never-say-die attitude that makes them one of the most beloved teams in the NFL. We'll be watching closely, analyzing every move, every snap, and every play because that's what true fans do. And I promise I'll be here to bring you the latest updates, insights, and news as this season unfolds. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.